Alright, welcome everybody. I'm Mike Schmidt and we're back for another alumna video. And here I'm with Chantal Mosley from UNC, and we are in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina on Labor Day. So thanks so much for having me, Chantal.
Thanks for inviting me.
So if you would, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Siler City, North Carolina, so it's about 45 minutes outside of Chapel Hill. And I've been in North Carolina my whole life. I love it here.
And if you would, tell us a little bit more about your educational background.
So I got my Bachelor's of Business Administration from Keenan Flagler at Chapel Hill, and then I went on to Wake Forest to get my Master's in Accounting.
Cool. And if you would, talk to us about your current employer, and then what's your position?
Okay, so I'm about to start a new role at Wells Fargo as a senior auditor. And in this role, I'll be supporting cross-functional teams within the company. So I'm really excited about this new role and how I can use the skills that I gained in my previous role.
Awesome. New roles are always exciting.
Yes.
So, perfect. And Chantal, as we're thinking about helping students, how do you think about coming across as really honest when you're networking with individuals?
Right. And as I thought back on this, I think it really starts with finding common ground and finding out interests that you and this person might have in common. Because over time, it takes that to build a genuine relationship, and that's going to lead to trust and being honest to that person and having that vulnerability. So I think it just starts with finding common ground and building a genuine relationship.
Sounds like a good process for you. What are some ways that you think about identifying common ground with people?
Okay, well, a good start is always your educational background, your interest. Traveling is something that everyone can talk about, and you can exchange ideas in different restaurants. So I love talking about that. Pets is also a really good common ground, and just asking someone, like, what do you like to do in your spare time? Because you never know what kind of hobbies can correlate with someone or resonate with someone else.
That's some awesome advice. And how do you think about sort of feeling more comfortable talking about yourself without being boastful with some of your accomplishments?
Right, and that one was kind of hard for me, and I think it really comes down to finding balance and remembering that it is very important to celebrate yourself, but to also be mindful to knowing, like, is all the information I'm giving out really necessary? Because you don't want to seem cocky. Like, no one wants someone that only wants to talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really finding the balance, and if you do share something about yourself, remember to celebrate other people around you as well.
Perfect. And how do you get over what sometimes people have a fear of judgment when they're going through a networking interaction?
That was another one that I thought back on, and I think it really takes developing confidence in yourself and trusting your gut that people are going to speak on you. They're going to speak positive or negative despite what you do. So you might as well develop that sense of confidence that it doesn't matter what other people think, that we all have something to bring to the world, and if you keep it inside, no one is ever going to know your gift.
All right. And with that, how do you think about sort of some self-celebration or mini celebrations for some of the wins that you have along what can be a very long networking trail?
Right. And this is something that I'm still learning as a young professional, is learning to celebrate myself and having self-celebrations. I think in life you can really get bogged down with, okay, I accomplished one goal, so what's next? And not taking the time to say, like, yay, like, I did it. And so if you don't celebrate yourself, who will celebrate you? And that's something that I kind of remind myself is kind of like your birthday. If you don't celebrate your birthday, who will? So I think that ways to celebrate yourself are taking yourself to dinner, or take yourself to get a massage and really spend time doing things that you hadn't had the chance to do in a while.
Perfect. And Chantal, you've had a lot of successes. Talk to us about a recent success that you've had networking.
Yeah, okay, so this is something really exciting, is that I'll be starting a new position with Wells Fargo. And it really came about, I was at the airport and I ran into a recruiter, and we just had a simple conversation about NABA, because we were on our way to a NABA conference. So I took that little conversation, and then after the conference I followed up with her, and she didn't have anything in her specific recruiting class that she was looking for, but she said, if you apply for anything, let me know and I'll reach out to that recruiter. And so that's what I did, and I mean, all because of an airport conversation. And I've learned since I've been in Charlotte and through a lot of different professional networking events, that you're always being interviewed. And you never know who's going to have your next opportunity. So it's important to like always bring your full self and be a good person, be good to other people.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Chantal, as you think about maintaining relationships over time, what different channels do you use? So you mentioned reaching out to the recruiter from Bank of America. What channel did you use? I'm sorry, Wells Fargo. What channel do you use to connect with that person?
So it really depends on the relationship that you have with that person. So my rule of thumb that if someone crosses my mind, I try to reach out to them. And that depends on the relationship. Like if I know them well enough to send them a text message saying, hey, just thinking of you and, just wanted to check in and see how you were, then that's what I do. If it's a little more professional, then I might send them an email or reach out on LinkedIn to see how they're doing. But I would say that generally you want to keep up with someone and check in at least every 3 to 6 months. Just to like dropping in, want to check in, catch up, and give an update on your life. And I think that has served me really well in my career so far.
Absolutely. And Chantal, for our last question, what's one final piece of advice that you would give to these students as they're thinking about building their professional relationships over a period of time?
Right, and I wrote this one down. I was thinking about it, and I said to celebrate your wins and learn to forgive yourself and learn from your losses. And most important, that it's important to be patient with yourself. And remember that everything is going to happen day by day. It's not like you achieve everything all at once, but to just be patient. And it'll all happen in due time.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Chantal. Again, it was a
Thank you.
pleasure to interview you in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, and congratulations on your new role at Wells Fargo. You're going to be great.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody.